What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to more Dead by Daylight. In today's video, we are in the PTB because we are going to be checking out the brand new survivor coming to the game, ORELA Rose. Now, I hope I said that right, but let's go ahead and check our brand new survivor. Let's go to play. Let's go to survivor over here. And let's go ahead and scroll down this long list of roster. This long roster down here of survivors. And there we go, ORELA Rose. Nice. There you have it, the brand new survivor coming to Dead by Daylight.
Cemetery in the fog.
Alright, get full 360 right here. Let's go and check out the bio. It says ORELA Rose is a paramedic with a love for horror and calming demeanor. Her personal perks: do not harm, duty of care, and rapid response allow her to heal survivors faster, give haste to other survivors, and see the killer's aura upon gaining exhausted. Okay, so from the looks of it, we are getting another healer into the game, which is awesome. Healing builds are definitely my favorite kind of builds in Dead by Daylight. But let's go ahead and go to the store, check out the outfits, as well as get a breakdown on the perks. So let's go ahead and go here and find our survivor. Oh, okay, it's already on there. Let's go customization. So these are all the outfits coming to the game upon release, and you can check them out right now in the PTB and try them on, whatnot. Anyway, let's go ahead and go with the first outfit. All right, I love the hair. The hair is crazy. It's really nice. Looks like we have Halcyon Dreams. Life at a university changed when she was paired with Emily for a class project. Nostalgic Dreams. Looks like the same bio. Really nice. Ooh, the color change. The color change on the hair is really nice. We have Day Shift for the rare. Very nice outfit. I like this one. Night Shift. We have all the uncommon outfits right here. I'll just go and quickly click through these. And we have the common outfits. Or recolors, should I say. And there we go. Alright, very nice. I like the outfits. Let's go ahead and check out the bio. So right here, we're going to be getting a breakdown on the perks and see what she's all about. First one is going to be Do No Harm. Description says, helping those in need come easily, no matter how dire things get. When you heal another survivor, for each hook state they have, heal 50% faster and gain 3% progress for succeeding great skill checks. It also says, look at me, my name's ORELA, and I'm gonna make sure you're all right. Second perk is Duty of Care. You live by a code of conduct every day of your life and are all the better for it. When you take protection hit while healthy, all other survivors within 16 meters gain 25% for 15 seconds. Also says haste increases survivors' movement speed. Don't worry about me, I've got a knack for bouncing back. ORELA Rose. And the final perk that we have here is Rapid Response. It says when the moment comes, you give it your all. Your survival depends on it. When you do a fast locker exit, you suffer from the exhausted status effect for 30 seconds. When you gain exhausted, you see the killer's aura for 2 seconds. It says exhausted prevents survivors from activating other perks that cause exhausted. It also says, all right, you got this. 3, 2, 1, go. ORELA Rose. All right, so right off the bat, Do No Harm, the first perk right here, seems like it's going to be an extremely good perk. I haven't played any games just yet in the PTB, so I'm not really too sure how good it is, but I can already see it being part of my main healing build. Okay, this seems like a really good perk. And the second one is Duty of Care. Now this definitely seems like a situational perk. I'm gonna have to go in a game and try it out myself, but right off the bat, instantly I thought about the gates being open, one of your teammates being chased. You go and try to take a hit for them, and then everyone in that area just benefits from this perk right here with the 25% haste. Just helps out your teammates get out a lot faster, right? So, like I said, very situational perk, but I think it'd be really good, really rewarding if you pull it off. And the last perk, Rapid Response, is kind of like a risk being caught, but at the same time, you get information from the perk. I mean, you kind of give away your location at the same time. You get their location, so I'm going to have to go in game tries out. Maybe it's really good with other perks combined. If you guys have already tried these perks, let me know how good it is down in the comments. After this video, I'm definitely going to go into PTB and try out some games and test it out myself. And now that we're done with the perks, let's go ahead and check out the bio. It looks like there's quite a bit of it, so let's go ahead and get started. Right down here it does say ORELA Rose grew up in Chicago's far north side of Rogers Park, just blocks from Lake Michigan. Her dad was a firefighter and her mom was a nurse. She couldn't help but observe how much they sacrificed to help others, and she knew she would one day do the same in her own way. Orella majored in hospitality at Lakehead University. Freshman year, she bonded with Emily, a girl in a restaurant management class who helped her get through her transition. Emily was a huge fan of horror movies, and she regularly listened to recordings of an old podcast called All Things Wicked This Night. The host, Sable Ward, often talked about stories of a horror writer named Cliff Barra. Many were made into movies in the 1950s and became cult classics. The art director, Alex Damaro, survived the horrors of war and infused his macabre sets and costumes with a palpable sense of dread. Let's go ahead and keep it going. It says, Orella and Emily couldn't get enough. They hung out at the Hard Boiled Cafe, a coffee shop and bookstore with the 1950s mystery theme. They so loved the atmosphere, they made plans to one day open a themed restaurant of their own. They would create a dining experience that recreated the horror stories, characters, sets, and costumes of Barra and Amaro. A place where people could escape their humdrum lives and to spend an hour or two living on the edge. The idea so excited them, they created a haunted house for Halloween to try out those same ideas. They commandeered, sorry, it's kind of hard to see with the background right here. They commandeered an empty college dormitory to build the haunted Madhouse of Doom. On Halloween, dozens of students lined up to experience the terror of an insane asylum based on one of Cliff Barra's most celebrated stories. Orella led groups of laughing and screaming college students past padded cells and torture chambers filled with axe murderers, groaning zombies, and wailing ghosts. Going to keep going. It says the shock therapy room featured a jury-rigged shock table. Emily played the part of a writhing patient wired for a shock treatment. She wore a headpiece fitted with electrodes that would light up and smoke and spark once Orella told one of the students to throw the switch. They used the shock table dozens of times, and each time Emily would shake and shriek like a banshee, eliciting a chorus of delighted screams. That's a lot, man. I told you, it's a long bio. It says, this time, however, a frayed wire shorted out and Emily didn't shriek but went rigid as her face contorted into a silent scream. There were sparks and smoke and the smell of burnt meat. Miraculously, Emily was still alive after Orella pulled the plug. They called for an ambulance, and as they waited, Emily's breathing grew shallower and shallower. Orella felt helpless, useless, worthless. By the time the EMTs finally arrived, Emily was gone. The very next day, Orella dropped out of college and started training to become an EMT. She never ever wanted to feel helpless again. Her parents were surprised but supported her, and within a year, Orella was driving an ambulance and saving lives. She had a natural talent for soothing and calming those who needed her the most, but nurturing and protective, she had a knack for taking charge and bringing people together. Still, she never forgot Emily or their dreams of opening a horror-themed restaurant based on the movies of Barra and Damaro. Working as an EMT, she knew she would take her years to save enough money, but then one day she rescued John Kingsley, a man worth billions. Called to the scene of a terrible car crash, she found he wasn't breathing. She instantly performed CPR and restarted his heart with a portable defibrillator. His doctor later received he would have surely died if not for Orella, grateful for saving his life. He offered to finance her dreams and gifted her an old building located at 900 Blood Lane across an old cemetery. That is insane. You saved my life, here's the building. Enjoy. That's kind of crazy. With financing in the perfect location, Orella hired some friends to help her design the most immersive horror experience ever. Screams in the Dark would open only one weekend a month to start, each time with a completely unique set, theme, and menu. Soon it was all horror enthusiasts could talk about. People loved the Barra Damaro aesthetic, and many wanted Orella to open 6 days a week. But for Orella, it wasn't about the money. She was perfectly content saving lives Monday through Friday and creating horror and mayhem once a month. Looks like we're coming close to the end. It says, one time she themed the experience around a borrowed story about a mysterious fog that transported victims to another dimension. Some believed words in the story were cursed and somehow made readers disappear. She laughed those superstitions off until later that night when a black fog rose up around her. She hurried outside, but the black fog was everywhere. She froze suddenly and called out to her friends. No one answered. Then she heard cries for help. Calling out to her from the dark, ORELA then panicked. She never panicked. She merely assessed the situation and pushed through the thickening fog until she froze with a sudden realization. They sounded like her cries, and they seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at the same time. For the first time in years, ORELA felt the shudder run down her spine as she realized her dream had somehow led into a living nightmare. A nightmare not unlike one described in Barrow's cursed story. As she processed the strange observation, the anguished cries came again and again, louder and more desperate. Only this time there were many different voices, and one of them sounded like Emily. Instantly, ORELA shook off her superstitions and became all business as she urgently searched the dark abyss for the wounded and dying before it was too late. There you guys have it, our brand new Survivor ORELA Rose. Let me know if you guys are excited, and let me know what you guys think about the perks down in the comments. But that's gonna do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Definitely does help a lot. Follow me on Twitch if you want to see any DVD action live. I'll see you guys next video I make. Alright? Later.